Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to revise our chapter 8, that is quadrilaterals. Other chapters are already done. Chapter number 5, expansion formulae. Chapter 6, factorization of algebraic expression. Chapter 7, variation. And today we are going to revise chapter 8, that is quadrilateral. Okay, so let's begin our class today. So we have come across different shapes in our real life also, and wherever you go, you see different things in different shapes, correct? So there are so many shapes which we know, and there are shapes which we don't know. Okay, now certain shapes have certain names. The chapter 8 quadrilateral, certain shape is called as quadrilateral, but not all the shapes are called as quadrilateral. What is the reason behind that? Now here you can see different shapes. You can see an anagram, triangle, you can see a star, heart, cross, arrow, cube. All these are shapes. Here also you can see square, diamond, star, circle, rectangle, etc. Now, what do you mean by quadrilateral? Why certain shapes are called as quadrilateral, or why certain shapes comes under quadrilateral? So there are some properties, okay, to call a shape as a quadrilateral. Let's see. Here are the examples of quadrilateral, and here are the non-examples of quadrilateral. Now, as you observe the examples, what you can find out, what you can compare between the examples and non-examples. Quadrilateral will be having four sides. Okay, you can see in all this figure, all the five figures here, all the shapes here, all are having four sides. Not less than four, not more than four, but exactly four sides. Okay, that is the first property for the quadrilateral, that any shape having four sides is known as quadrilateral. Here you can see there are either less than four sides, or there are no sides at all, or there are more than four sides. So they are not an example and they are not included as quadrilateral. Second property, quadrilaterals will have four angles. You can see here in a square you can see four angles, rectangle you can see four angles, the other three too. Correct? So what is the second property of a quadrilateral? That it should have four angles, not less than four, not more than four. So these shapes are called as quadrilateral because they are having four sides and four angles. Then diagonals. From this vertex to this vertex, how many diagonals can be formed? Two diagonals. Similarly, from here in a rectangle, this roughly I am showing, diagonals are always straight. Okay. So you can see two diagonals are formed in a quadrilateral. So altogether, a quadrilateral have four sides, four angles and two diagonals. Okay, altogether there will be 10 elements in a quadrilateral. So that is what we are going to study in chapter 8, construction of quadrilateral and the different types. Here you can see a quadrilateral is a closed shape and it is a type of polygon. Now what do you mean by polygon? Polygon is any shape having more than three sides. Okay, four sides, four angles and two diagonals. Then important, the sum of interior angles of quadrilateral is always equal to 360 degree. Okay, so all the angles when we add up together, it will be 360 degree. From where this word quadrilateral came from? The word quadrilateral is derived from the Latin word quadra, which means four, and latus means sides. So shape having four sides is known as quadrilateral. Okay. In this, we are going to study different types of quadrilateral. So here is a quadrilateral family, which you know, that is kite, rhombus, square, parallelogram, rectangle, trapezoid or trapezium. Okay, this is isosceles trapezoid and this is trapezoid. Okay, we also call it as trapezium. So we are using not the word trapezoid but the word trapezium, but both of them means one and the same thing. Okay, there are some quadrilaterals which are in irregular shape. They will have unequal angles, unequal sides, or unequal or both. Okay. So here these shapes are also quadrilaterals. Though they are not regular shape, they are having four sides and four angles. To construct a quadrilateral, measurement of at least five are required. Five elements, specific five elements are required out of time 10. Okay, four angles, four sides, and two diagonals. Together it is 10 elements. Out of that, if only five is given, we can construct a quadrilateral. Now the different types of quadrilateral, we know a square. What is the property of square? All the sides will be equal. Now if this is 7, this will be 7, this will be 7, and this will be 7. What about angles? All angles will be 90-degree. Diagonals, okay, they bisect each other. What do you mean by bisect? They divide it into two equal parts. Now if this is 5, this will be 5. If this is 5, this will be 5. Okay, so equally they are dividing, and the angle which is formed over here, it will be perpendicular bisector, it will be 90-degree. Okay, so this is the properties of square. Next comes rhombus. Now compare square and rhombus. With some properties of square match with rhombus. Let's see what. Now here, what is the difference? What you can see, in square all angles were 90-degree. Here for rhombus, angles are not 90. They are either acute angle or obtuse angle. Means what? Either less than 90 or more than 90. Okay, they will never be 90 in case of rhombus. What about sides? If this is 7, this will be 7, this will be 7, and this will be 7. All sides, same like square, will be equal. Then what else? Opposite sides are parallel to each other. Opposite sides are congruent to each other, and opposite angles also congruent to each other. Okay. Then diagonals bisect each other, means this is divided equal into two different parts. Okay. All the sides will be congruent. This is very important. Next comes the rectangle. What is rectangle? Any shape where all the angles are 90-degree can be called as rectangle. Okay. Any shape, if you see all the four angles are 90-degree, means you can call it as rectangle. Now what are the properties of rectangle? Like this is 10, this will be 10. If this is 5, this will be 5. What does that mean? Opposite sides will be of equal length. Okay, opposite sides are parallel to each other, they are congruent to each other, and the diagonals bisect each other. Here also diagonals bisect means it divides into two equal parts. So here all the angles are 90-degree in rectangles. So any shape, all the angles 90-degree means it is called as rectangle. Next comes to the parallelogram. Some properties of rectangle match here, only changes what about the angles. For rectangle, all angles 90-degree. Here there will be acute or obtuse angle, means less than 90 or more than 90, but never it will be 90-degree in case of parallelogram. Okay. What about the sides? Same like rectangle. If this is 10, this will be 10. If this is 5, this will be 5. Okay, opposite sides are parallel to each other, opposite sides are congruent to each other. And then what? Diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other, same like parallelogram, square, rhombus. They bisect each other means they divide into two equal parts. Okay, and opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. If this is 110-degree, opposite of this will also be having 110-degree. Okay, and here if it is 70-degree, this angle will also be 70-degree. So you need to know the properties, and only based on the problem, based on the properties, some problems will be asked, so it will be easy to solve the problems. Okay, so you need to study the properties of all the 6 different shapes. Next, about kite. What is the property of kite here? Okay, now here you can see a kite. If this is 3 centimeter, adjacent side of this will also be 3 centimeter. If this is 6 centimeter, this side will also be 6 centimeter. This side will be little bit smaller than this side. Okay. And what about the diagonals? Diagonals are the perpendicular to, one diagonal is perpendicular to the another one. Okay. Then this angle which is formed and this angle which is formed, it will be equal. If this is 60-degree, this angle will also be 60-degree. Okay. So this was about kite. Next is trapezium. What is the important property of trapezium? Opposite sides, any one pair of opposite side will be parallel to each other. In this shape, you can see this is parallel to this side is parallel to this side. Here, AB is parallel to DC. They will never intersect even if how much ever you extend this, it will always remain parallel. But what about the other two sides? Now, if we extend this little bit, it will intersect at certain point, isn't it? But one pair of one side opposite sides will never intersect with each other. If you see such shape, it is called as trapezium. Okay, so at least one side of set of sides are parallel, and parallel sides are called as base, other sides are called as legs. That is for your information. Now let's see, who am I? Let's solve this riddles or the quiz. So if you know the properties, it's easy to answer. Let's begin. Who am I? I have four sides. My sides vary in length. I have one pair of parallel sides. My angles vary in size. Who am I? Any guesses? It is trapezium. Okay, one pair of parallel sides. It is nothing but trapezium. And angles vary in size. They have different angles. Even the sides have different measurement. But it have the four sides. So it is a quadrilateral and it is a trapezium. Which two quadrilaterals always have four right angles? Which are those? Only two shapes which we know, that is a square and a rectangle, will always have 90-degree, always have the right angles here. For the square and the rectangle, it has two pairs of equal parallel sides. Diagonally opposite angles are equal, two angles are acute and two are obtuse. Means two angles are less than 90-degree, two angles are more than 90-degree. Diagonals, diagonally opposite angles are equal. Okay, diagonally opposite angles are equal means what? This angle and this angle will be equal. It has two pairs of equal parallel sides. This pair is equal, this pair will be equal. Two pairs of equal parallel sides. What shape it is? It is nothing but a parallelogram. Okay, two pairs of equal parallel sides diagonally. This angle, now if this is 8, this will be 8. If this is 4, this will be 4. If this is 100-degree, this will be 100-degree. Okay, a quadrilateral with two pairs of adjacent congruent equal length side. Okay, adjacent sides are equal. Which is that shape? Yes, it is a kite. Let's fill in the blanks here. We can construct a quadrilateral if we know the measure of some dash elements out of dash. So if we know some specific 5 elements out of 10, we can construct a quadrilateral. Next, diagonals of the square are of dash length. What about the diagonals? Whether the length are equal or not equal, it will be equal. Okay, so the diagonals of a square are of equal length. If one diagonal is 10 centimeter, another one will also be 10 centimeter. Okay. Only one pair of opposite sides of a dash are parallel. Which is that shape? Yes, we just now saw who am I? That is trapezium. It is also called as trapezoid. Interior angles formed by two parallel lines and their transversal are, yes, they are always supplementary. Supplementary means when we add, we should get 180-degree. So in the bracket, we can write 180-degree. Now, one more question. Measures of adjacent angles of a parallelogram are 5x minus 7 and 4x plus 25. Find the measures of this angle. Now here it is given in the equation format. We have to find out. How can you find out? Now what is the property of parallelogram? Opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent to each other, and also the opposite angles are congruent to each other. Okay. And then what is given about adjacent angles? Measures of adjacent angles of a parallelogram. So roughly we can draw a parallelogram where the adjacent side, that is here if it is 5x minus 7, here the angle will be 4x plus 25. What can you say this about this? How can you find out the value of x? Don't you think we can use the interior angle property? Interior angles, okay, of two parallel lines and a transversal here. And what you can say, interior angles are supplementary. That means when we add these two angles, we should get 180 degrees. So how are you going to solve this? 5x minus 7 plus 4x plus 25 is equal to, when we add we should get 180 degree. Now let's solve. So it will be 5x minus 7 plus 4x plus 25 is equal to 180 degree. 5x plus 4x, we'll take the x together, and plus 25 minus 7 is equal to 180. Now what is 5x plus 4x? 9x. 25 minus 7 will give you plus 18. Nine x is equal to 180 minus 18. So 9x is equal to 162. Therefore, x is equal to 162 divided by 9. So it will be 9 ones are 9, 9 eights are 72. So value of x is 18. Now we have to find out the measure. Got 18. Okay, minus 7 will give you 83 degree. Okay, so that means this angle is 83 degree. What about next? Same way, 4 in spite of x, we got the value of x as 18 plus 25. 52 plus 25. It will be 97. So this angle measurement is 97 degree. Just cross check whether 83 plus 97 is 180. 83 plus 97. 7 plus 3 10. 1. 9 plus 8 17 plus 1 18. Yes. So interior angles are supplementary. So here these angles are 80 degree and 83 degree and 97 degree. Okay. So few questions I'm giving as a worksheet. So please do solve. Worksheet is from chapter 5 to chapter 9. All the chapters are included. It will be including MCQs, four options. Out of that, one will be the correct option. So please do practice and appear for the exam. Okay, thank you so much everyone. That's all for today.